This is Lane from Hawk Dancer Studio. Today we are here with our special guest,
Liz Schuster.
Liz, I wanted to thank you so much for joining us today. You're a local bike racer here in the area, and I just wanted to take a few minutes to ask you a few questions about you as a person and you as a bike racer.
Sure, thank you for having me.
How long have you been involved with cycling?
I've been involved since 2009.
Okay, and what piqued your interest and got you involved in the sport of cycling?
Well, so I was in the Navy for a decent amount of time, and as you know, the military lifestyle can be a little rough and unhealthy because of all the extracurricular activities you can get involved with. And I just wanted to kind of get out of that rut and have a new, like a healthy activity. Okay, wait.
Number one, I would like to say thank you for your service. I appreciate anyone that is willing and able to stand up and sign that contract to serve our nation. You've signed a blank check up to and including your life, and I thank you for that. That says a lot about your character. How did your experiences in the Navy help you as a bike racer now today?
Well, I think it's almost the other way around. So I really believe, like, I started out as a triathlete and I was on very strict training programs, and I believe the discipline that I learned from my triathlon training almost helped me in the Navy be more patient with people, patient with others, accept things that I couldn't change. So it's kind of a different way of looking at things.
Sure.
But
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Good answer. I didn't expect that. The competitive cycling community here in the Bay Area in Central Florida, do you find that to be comparable with the athletes that you competed against in your triathlon days?
Absolutely. They're almost a completely different crowd, you know, because in triathlon you're mainly racing against yourself. You have nobody else to work with. But the bike racing, it's actually, I don't really know how to answer that question. Can you answer me it again?
Sure. Let me rephrase that. The differences that you have found between cycling, strictly racing your bike, against racing a triathlon, how can you kind of compare and contrast those two different sports?
Yeah, absolutely. I loved triathlon. I loved it because it was an individual sport. I only had to think about what I was doing, how strong I was, what my capabilities were. But when I switched to bike racing, I realized it's more a team effort. And I'm really thankful that I actually am on a women's team and we all can work together. Some races, it just depends on the race dynamics, but it's really fun when you have those times when you can work together as a team and accomplish something.
Now, I've noticed, just from an outsider's perspective, looking at the state of women's cycling in this area, it seems like there is a really diverse, very deep group of ladies that go out and race together. And you all there seems to be a lot of camaraderie. Now, competition, of course, but also a lot of camaraderie between you ladies as well. Is that correct?
That is so correct, and I love it. So I first started road racing this January, seriously. I've dabbled in it before, but this is my first real season. And compared to where we started in January, I know all the girls out there, even though we race against each other, we're all friends.
That's really cool.
We support each other. We encourage each other. You know, it's wonderful.
The reason why I wanted to do this interview with you, it was just a brief moment I saw you give a young lady a hug on the podium, and I even photographed it. It was such a sweet moment, and it said so much about you to me, about what type of person you were. And ever since then, I can tell you I've been a big fan of yours. And so there's always somebody out there cheering for you, even if you don't hear it.
Oh,
So,
thank you.
and I've really enjoyed this conversation with you. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to sit down and talk with us.
My pleasure.
Just as a closing, is there anybody that has influenced you throughout your career as a cyclist that you'd like to mention and give a thanks to?
Sure, absolutely. Let's see. It all began in Pensacola, Florida. I started riding with the Blackwater cyclists, and through them I met a bunch of people. West Florida Wheelmen. I started riding with a bunch of diverse cyclists, and then I started getting to be friends with a couple of guys that were the bike racers, and they kind of influenced me to start racing. So, gosh, let's see, Don Davis, Johnny Brizard, Michael and Jean McBrien, they've all encouraged me and given me tough love to continue going.
That's needed sometimes,
Yeah.
isn't it?
I would say locally here in the Bay Area, Julia and her dad gave me great support, along with all of Florida Velo, Pablo, Christy, Tish and Madison. Everybody's been really wonderful and encouraging and supportive, and so.
Y'all do seem like a family when I see you
Yeah.
together. So,
We
well,
are.
thank you again, and I wish you luck in your cycling career.
Thank you.